Hello and welcome to another instructional video on the MiSTer FPGA system. Today we'll be looking at the Casio PV-1000 system. This was made in 1983 and did not fare too well with competition from Sega's SG-1000 and Nintendo's Famicom. It was quickly discontinued and had a library of about 13 games. An interesting fact about this is that it used the Z80 CPU, which is also found in the SG-1000, the Sega Master System, the Game Gear, also the Mega Drive Genesis system, partly for backwards compatibility with the Sega Master System games, and also used in some of the sound processing. It was also used in the ZX80, the ZX81, the ZX Spectrum, Amstrad CPC, Amstrad PCW. A form of it was in the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, the TRS-80, the MSX standard of computers. Those were several different computers that had held to a standard that had that. It was used in the ColecoVision and the Sam Coupe. In CPM machines, it was also used, such as the Osborne, the Cape Pro, the Heathkit 89, the Commodore 128, which I covered last week for the CPM stuff. It originally was started production in July of 1976 and was discontinued fairly recently, only 2 years ago in June 2024. Also, it was used in TI graphing calculators and a bunch of other embedded systems and things like that. It's a quite a popular, well-used CPU. Just something interesting. I don't always put, every single thing that stuff was made from, but I just thought since this is a not very well-known system, I'll just throw that in there, for extra thing. Now, if you have a moment, I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. If you want to, click the notification bell, leave a comment, pass this on to friends, what have you. It's just it just helps me out, and the fact is I'm not like trying to monetize this or anything, but what I really want it to do is if people need these videos and find them useful, I would like more people to be able to find them. So that's what I'm going for here. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on the system. This is the main page here, the GitHub page for the MiSTer core on the official MiSTer repo. And there's not very much here. It's just this implementation, support for the massive library of cartridges, all 13 of them, and joysticks for up to 2 players, each with 2 fire buttons, select and start. Pretty standard thing. I'll just note that this the image is courtesy of Evan Amos, and that's it. Apparently, Video Signal could use a good look over because its vertical sync has issues or something like that, maybe. But it's very, very basic core. Does not have any super fancy features or any of that stuff. The games aren't bad, which I'll show you in a moment. They're pretty good. Like there are several other capable systems that have decent games with this processor and that. So it's not that. It just didn't fare well with the the stiff competition of the other systems. Maybe unfortunate, maybe not. We'll take a look at some of the games and see what they look like. Let's get on over to it. Okay. So what you want to do is let me bring up the. I have this. This is on SD card games, and it's Casio _ capital V capital P capital V dash 1000. If you are running update all, it should build this folder for you and all that, so it should be fine as far as that goes. But you do have to spell that correctly with the capitalization and everything. Otherwise, it can't find the games. And whatever the IP is of your system, which I'll show you in a moment how to get the IP in case you don't know how. And if you're using the Samba setup, it's SD card games. If you're using SFTP, it's media fat games. And just dump all 13 games in here. Actually, there's 14 because there's a homebrew here, and there may be a couple other homebrews. I'm not sure when they all came out. So this is the entire list of all the games that I'm aware of. You can go find them pretty easily if you want to go searching as far as where to find them, that sort of thing. I can't really point them out to you. These are almost all arcade conversions. I think there were like 2 games that weren't, which was Dirty Chameleon and Excite Mahjong were not arcade. Those were original and unique to the system. Although Mahjong games are, pretty common, so probably not something too spectacular there. I won't go through that one because I'm not super familiar with Mahjong. If you want to know, it's a tile-based game. The tiles basically work like cards, and it plays very similar to Rummy. So if you like Rummy, you might be interested in Mahjong. It takes a little getting used to what the tiles are because they're different, graphics and stuff than what you would be used to in a Western card system. If you're familiar with Mahjong, then great, you might like it. So that's that. Let's get over it. You just drop the files in there. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's not gonna take long. These are small files. Look, these are little kilobytes. So just a second. So I don't even need to demonstrate that and show you like the half a second it takes to copy them over. All right, let's switch over to the MiSTer, and I will demo a few of these games because there's not much to this system, not much else to show you here. So we're gonna go to consoles. Oh, let me show you that IP like I promised. So you go from the main page in the menu, you hit back, whatever button you have set to back, and then you hit left, and then this shows you the IP address, which in my case is 192.168.0.105. Yours most likely will be different, so therefore you need to check it on your system to see what it is set to. That can vary, so if you have troubles connecting to it and you can't find, whatever, if you're trying to do it, then this is the way you look it up and see what it is if it changes. If you're familiar with network configuration, you can you can statically configure it and things like that, but I'm not here to show you how to statically configure your network because your needs and your router and such may be different, so I can't really teach you that. That's that's a whole other situation. But this is the easiest way. You can find what the IP is, even if it changes. You start up and you do that. If that's whatever, if that's not something you're inclined to do, you can always just take the SD card out and put it in an adapter, or if you have an adapter built into your system or whatever, put it into your computer and put the games on that way, and then put it back into the MiSTer. But that's, I think, a little bit of a pain to do. Okay, so we're gonna go to console and go down to the Casio PV-1000. And as you saw, I already put the games on. So we got Warp. I guess that's the one I loaded, or Warp. I guess that's the one I loaded before. So let's fire this up. This one's quite interesting. It is a conversion of a Namco arcade game, which I was not familiar with. I think it's available on some compilations and things like that. So if you find those compilations, you'll have that. And it's interesting because it has like two modes of play. One's kind of a little bit like Wizard of War, and the other one's, I don't know, it's kind of a mazy-based thing. It's more like Bomberman. That's right. So let's take a look at that. All right, so start. So this part's a little Wizard of War-y. And then I just got killed because I'm, not doing so good. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. It's a little bit loud in my ears. It's gonna be a little bit quiet for you, I think, now, but here's this part. And then something will happen, right? And you go back into the middle and you can warp to there. When that happens, there, you can warp, and then you get this other one, and it's like Bomberman. See, you drop a bomb there, and it blows stuff up. It takes a bit longer to blow up than I remember when I was testing, but that's probably just me. No, I won't get anything there. Oops. Well, the thing was... Oh, you can leave like lots of bombs. That's nice. You can't do that in Bomberman. Oh, no, it stopped doing its thing. I was going to try and go in there again. Oh, and it does kill you. Okay, I wasn't sure of the if that kills you. The bomb kills you, just like Bomberman in that case. All right, game over. All right, and then that does get a little bit old and repetitive with the music there like that. What else did I want to look at? All right, let's load another cartridge. Let's load. I'm gonna load Turpin. This is actually a pretty good port of this, and you may have noticed I've illustrated this game. It's actually also known as Turtles. I've shown a few systems, and I just bring this game up for whatever, because thematically I kind of like showing this one off for some reason. Not that it's the best game or whatever, but it was just, you know, a mini theme that I had. So there, you'll catch it in some of my other videos. So let's look at Turpin. This is actually a pretty neat game, and this is a pretty good rendition of it. And you pick up the little bombs, and you go in here, and oh, there's a turtle, and you're the mama turtle, and you gotta take it home. Uh-oh, already. Eh. Got that one. See if I can get through a round, huh? Oh, nice. Right there. There he goes. Oh, I got 2 left, though. There's 3 baby turtles left, as you can see. And I have 7 bombs, or whatever they call them. Landmines, I don't know. Whatever they are, you can only drop 1 at a time, though. There's that one. Oh, I don't know what the blue means versus the dark blue versus the light blue. No. Just could not. Alright, see if I can. Oh, no. Alright, here we go. Where are we gonna put this one? Down here. Alright. I got plenty of these. Alright, got the baby turtle. This is also a fairly easy version. I think the one I haven't showed is the arcade one, which I believe there is a core for that, so look out for that. You might see that in another video at some point. Alright. Whoa. Got that one. I'm on the 2nd floor. It doesn't have the little animation between floors, I noticed, but it plays very well and it looks good. The graphics aren't bad, you know. Compared to some of the other ones, since this was an early game that came out. Whoa. Since this was an early game that came out, most of the other systems that this is out on, you know, the graphics are very, very primitive. Oh, perfect. Game over. All right. It probably goes back to... No, it's not doing the music, at least. All right, so that's a good one. What else do we want to show you? I'll show you Super Cobra. This is a pretty classic game. I have this on a tabletop one with a VFD, vacuum fluorescent display. Played that back in the day. A friend of mine had it, and then I went and got one some years ago in the early 2000s, I think. And it's worth a lot more money now. It's gone up in price a lot. But yeah, I have to go find that and take a look at it. That will be... I mean, that won't be a MiSTer thing if I do show that off, so I'm not sure. Oh, missiles. That's kind of cool. You know, this is, I think that's the sequel to Scramble, you know. It's a very similar game to Scramble. I think I'm going to be game overed here. Yeah, game over. What else I was going to show you? Let's see. Oh, yes. We definitely have to show you Dig Dug. It's not bad for a primitive old system like this. It runs a little fast. It's not a great version of Dig Dug. It's definitely not the best. But see, he goes really, really fast. Zippity zip. Oop, and I ran right into that guy like a ninny or something. Wow. It is playable. It's just not. It's there. Oh, I'm making it look harder than it is. It is hard. There. See. And you gotta keep hitting that button too. It's weird. Gotta get the fruit. Now he's gonna get me. Oh no! The game over already? I think game over. Yeah, I did very poorly on that one. But that's how it is. It's it's all right. It's Dig Dug. It's not the best version of Dig Dug, but it works. I like the graphics, and it does feel kind of like ColecoVision-y, ColecoVision SG-1000 level of games, and not too bad. All right, let's see. I got one more I'd like to show you. I'd like to show you the Dirty Chameleon, because that one is unique to this system, and so I'm going to do that. I'm not very good at this. I don't know the rules and how it plays, but it was made by Jalico, copyright Jalico there. But you're this chameleon, and you like eat these eggs or something, and there's chickens that come after you. And you can do that to take them out, but if they touch you, you die, and then, oh, see, like there, I'm dead. I think the baseballs get you too. You can't eat those. And then, oh, here I am. I think you got to get all the eggs. You can go up and down on the, like, girders. It's a little bit, awkward, the controls here. You got to be, like, dead on. And I'm probably going to die before I get all the eggy eggs, but we'll see. Oh, I died. Yep. End. But be curious to see what's let me see if I can try one more time, because I'd like to see what the next level is, if it's different, or that sort of thing. I guess oh man, they really come after you. It's like Zelda with the chickens and stuff. That started in was A Link to the Past was the first one that had the first one that had the chickens that go crazy after you. But yeah, I'm not gonna get through this. And I don't know, since I obviously never had one of these. Well, not obviously, but since I never had one of these, it was Japanese only. And I'm not Japanese, so I wouldn't have had one back in the day, unless weird circumstances. So yeah, I'm not gonna try that again. But I'm not familiar enough with this game to know that if it's playing fast or something faster than it should or something like that. That might be a nice feature to add to the core to sort of slow it down if it is going too fast. Or I mean, just because maybe it was like that back in the day and it wasn't so good because it was too fast. But if you could slow it down a little bit, or something like a slow-mo, and make it perform better, this is a unique game as far as I know, so that would be pretty cool. I don't really have much to show you. This is almost half of the games for the library for it, not counting the homebrews and stuff. Not quite half, but almost. So I got to leave a little bit for the imagination, for exploration, and it's pretty simple to set this up, so it's not much. That's why I was going through the games as best I could. But that's all I have for you on this one. I hope this has been at least entertaining or informative for you. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on another video. Take care.